All right, let's get straight to CNN contributor and Sirius XM radio host Pete Dominick. He's getting some unsolicited advice from our excellent panel about this very question. Pete, go ahead.
That's right. Thanks, Will Blitzer. We got our panel assembled for the final time this week here in the arena, where I think it's still pouring outside, but we're going to have a great conversation as always. Last night, Bill Clinton made a lot of claims, a lot of comments, and tonight, President Obama has to follow him. Carly, I know you want to come out of the box on this last night. Let's talk about Bill Clinton. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, you got very upset about, Ryan for his rhetorical flourishes. I'll tell you what, Bill Clinton had lots of rhetorical flourishes. That's the nice way of saying it. The not so nice way of saying it is he left out a lot of facts. But specifically to the question, I think Bill Clinton is right that no president could have fixed all this in 4 years. The problem is that's not the question that people are asking. It's not what voters are looking for. The majority of voters think we're headed in the wrong direction. And sadly, the facts back them up. Poverty at a 50-year high. Small business creation at a 40-year low. President Clinton talked a lot last night about global competitiveness. What he didn't mention that was in Barack Obama's term. We went from being measured the #1 most competitive economy in the world to number 7.
I get exhausted with the blame game. President Clinton did it last night. It's exhausting. Democratic presidents created 42 million jobs. Republicans created 24 million jobs. Does anybody on this panel, does anybody really think that these were exclusively Democratic or Republican policies?
Or government.
President Bill Clinton deregulated the financial industry. He repealed Glass-Steagall. He is as much to blame for the economy that President Obama got as anybody else. I'm sorry. Let's not blame one side or the other. There's tons to go around.
And hold on, Cowboy. And Carly, look. It took from 1929 to 1945 to get that bus out of the ditch. This bus was in the ditch years ago. We know that. It was tipped upside down. It's back on the road, and it's moving down the road. And you can't tell Americans that it's not getting better because they know that.
But that's a heck of a sales pitch, though. You're saying, it's not that bad because it's not as bad as the Great Depression. I mean, that's not probably the message that Obama wants to run out there tonight.
Let me finish that. Without the actions, without the Recovery Act, without putting these dollars in the state capitals, without getting more highway dollars, without getting more transmission lines moving,
that's better.
Without that investment, we may well have been in the Great Depression. But we had a great recession instead. The bus is back on the road, and we're on the move.
I think what we're going to hear, first of all, let's just, no matter what we talk about, the big dog barked last night. I mean, let's just give credit where credit is due.
It was a great speech.
It was a great speech.
A story, but a speech.
Hey, listen. First of all, you had Michelle Obama, like Lady Gaga. Then you had Bill Clinton, kind of like Elvis. Tonight, you're going to have Justin Bieber, Michael Jackson, and Prince all rolled up together. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's working.
Justin Bieber? You were rolling there, Van. You had me.
So listen. I'm very upset right now. But listen. Barack Obama has been set up now to make the case. The reality is he has not been able to do everything he wants to do. To your point, I hope that he will actually take responsibility for his part of it, but the Republican Party is not taking responsibility for their part of it. And so we're in a situation right now where the Republican Party has been acting like Lucy, holding the ball. Every time Barack Obama tries to kick the ball, they move it.
That's just mythology. I'm sorry. It's mythology.
Hold on.
My question for Van, though, is what exactly should he be saying? Because what I think Democrats miss in that narrative is, yes, Republicans have been obstructionist and so on, but huge chunks of the remaining Obama agenda are deeply unpopular. Cap and trade, climate change legislation, deeply unpopular.
How about the parts that are popular?
If you explain them,
let's go back to the governor's analogy. The Great Depression lasted from 1929 to 1945. You know why it lasted so long? Because we tried exactly the same policies that are failing right now. After the vaunted FDR, unemployment was at 18%. You know what got us out of the Great Depression?
What got us out?
You bet. War spending.
That's government spending.
Government stimulus program. I'll be dang.
No. What we did in the Great Depression that made it even worse was become protectionist, not negotiate trade deals. There are such vast differences between...
This president is not opposed to trade deals.
Oh, look, there is such a vast...
That's not what Ted Strickland was telling us the other night.
difference between President Clinton, who was aggressively promoting trade, who aggressively worked with Republicans, who aggressively balanced the budget, and a President Obama who has done less to negotiate free trade agreements than any president in modern
Well,
history.
start right there.
Here is
Korea, Colombia. Yeah,
Two.
Do you know how long those
guys,
sat?
the worst part of this conversation is having to interrupt it. When we come back, we're going to give everybody our unsolicited advice. Stay right here.
CNN's coverage of the Democratic National Convention is